improvement, good, better, not great.
Like I didn't get like hitting the balls, but like it's not like I'm all right. I'm all right.
Far from perfect. We bounce back.
We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure.
How about another 9 plays coming right at you? Roll the intro. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel inside the beautiful Connors and Ferris podcast studio. Appreciate them and always appreciate you. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Be sure to share with your friends as we continue to grow not only the channel, but Uncle Dan's Best Bets. We really appreciate it as always. Gone over 40,000 subscribers. Next up, 41, 45, and then a million. Appreciate that. Also, with another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets, we like to give a shout out, as always, to our sponsor, Bob Johnson Auto Group. I say it all the time. It's worth repeating. They're the best. My wife and I have worked with Daryl out in Leroy. They're great. Buying, trading, leasing, selling, anything you need. Be sure to check out Bob Johnson Auto Group. Go ahead and tell them that Uncle Dan sent you. They're in that beautiful graphic right here. What a studio. Okay. So, last week, not great. I was right about one thing. I'm pretty good at patting myself on the back. Overs in the early slate, there were 9 games in the 1 o'clock slate. 8 of them went over. You know which game didn't? The one that we picked. Yeah, that's how this works sometimes. There was nothing to really back it up. It was just that feel of week 2 defenses kind of being sore and fatigued. And I was right. There were a lot of overs. We just also hit the one under. But we did hit the Patriots over. That was really good. We'll have another play there. So I'm recording this on Thursday. Last week was meh. The Denver Broncos may get blacklisted by Uncle Dan. They should have won that game. That's a tough one. That turned a winning week into a pushing week or a losing week. So I'm a man of the people. I'm giving my picks out for free this week. That's how we do it. We need to have a better week. 4-4 last week, 6-11 on the season. That is far from acceptable. Not acceptable. Won't allow it. So, looking ahead, I'm recording this Thursday morning because we're going up for the Bills game on Thursday night. And I got some thoughts, and we're going to spend some money on the Bills today. So whenever you're watching this, I got 5 plays in the Bills game. I got 4 plays on Sunday. So we'll get right into it. There's a couple things, and if you watch the Buffalo Plus podcast, I've had some thoughts on this Dolphins team, and I was not shy about the lack of respect that I have for them and the fact that I think they've really kind of cashed in. Last week I said, they were on quit watch. They may have quit. So the first play of the week, I think the total's high for this game, and I'm not going to pick a side. I don't think there's a single world that the Bills don't win this game. I just don't. But that doesn't guarantee that they're going to cover. So 12.5, but I will take the Bills team total over 30.5 points. And shout out to my guy, Joe Osborne at Covers. The Bills have gone over their team total in 10 out of their last 11 games where they are averaging 33.9 points per game. Buffalo has averaged 37.3 points per game in their last 8 home games versus the Miami Dolphins, whose defense just got decimated by Daniel Jones and Drake May so far this season. I think there's going to be a ton of points. They've talked a lot this week about how short weeks you have to keep things simple. And I think that's great for a team that can do the simple things really well. So the Dolphins defense stinks. I've talked about it on the podcast, they're a lot more name than game. Even their offense, I think, is clunky. For everybody that says, their offense got going last week, 2 or 3 for 300 yards. I think the Patriots defense stinks. So I take all of what they did last week with a grain of salt. So I like the Bills team total. I just don't see a world where they talk about, defenses can't get exotic because they don't have time to install game plans, and offenses don't have time to install new plays, that the Bills don't line up in 12 and 13 personnel and just run the ball down the Dolphins' throat. And I just don't think there's anything they can do to stop it. The Dolphins defense was really bad, and they haven't played a good offense. I'm just not convinced they played a good offense. The Bills are a good offense. They are not afraid to, Joe Brady's not afraid to hit the same button over and over again and run the same play 3, 4, 5 times. The Bills are better. I think they run the ball down their throat. Team total over 30.5 points. We have been close, and at times we've been late on it. Like, of course, we took James Cook's rushing yards in week 1. He then ran for 100 yards in week 2. James Cook over 89.5 rushing and receiving yards. He's done this each of the first 2 weeks. He had the long catch in the Baltimore game to go along with 44 yards. The Miami Dolphins have been atrocious at covering running backs. They got gouged, they got gashed by both Ramondre Stevens and Jonathan Taylor. I think this is a simple offense. I think it's hand the ball to James Cook, and if there is pressure, you dump it off to James Cook. There seems to be, like, because they paid him this money, that we're going to showcase him more. I like that one a lot. And then I was going to stop there with my Bills plays, and I just kind of said it. Because I think the Dolphins defense, their secondary is young. They're really bad. So I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid over 32.5 receiving yards. I'm going to take Khalil Shakir over 42.5 receiving yards. And I'm going to take Josh Palmer over 33.5 receiving yards. Dalton Kincaid has caught 8 out of the 10 passes targeted to him for 80-something yards and a touchdown. Again, I think they're going to run heavy personnel. I think they're going to bully the Miami Dolphins. So when you're doing that, you then have the illusion that you're going to run it and then can pass the ball. And Dalton Kincaid has been pretty good so far this season. So he's averaging over 40 yards a game. I don't think this one's too crazy. Khalil Shakir, the interesting thing about this is last season, Khalil Shakir was the 5th best rated wide receiver against zone. He has that ability to kind of find the soft spot in zones, and him and Josh have been really on the same page. He's been quiet so far this year, but he still's been targeted. I believe it was like 8 or 9 times. So, like, he's still getting looks. It just nothing's been crazy. The Dolphins play 70% zone the first 2 weeks. So there's a little tidbit for you. I will take the really good wide receiver against the zone against a team that plays a lot of zone. Don't think, just throw. Nuke Lelouch. And Josh Palmer quietly has been really good. Josh Allen has targeted Josh Palmer, second most on the team, 33 receiving yards. Could be one catch in this game. I'll take the chance. I know these are all kind of low, and it's like, well, is one guy going to take away from another one? I think these could all be hit in the first half. Like, so I'm not going to be afraid to throw some money on this game against a bad Dolphins team. So there are the 5 plays in the Bills game. The team total, James Cook, and then Kincaid, Shakir, Palmer, all their over receiving yards. As for the rest of the slate, so if we get to Sunday, hopefully we're 5-0 and back to even for the season. Packers -7.5 at Cleveland. This number is continuing to go up. It opened at 5.5. I've seen some books have it at 8.5. Again, locking this on Thursday. Cleveland's really bad. Offensively, really bad. Packers are really good. Not much more to that. On top of it, they talk about how good Matt LaFleur is against the spread in September. You can look it up. It's really impressive numbers. Don't think, just throw. They're just a better team. And what did I have on that game? Yeah, here's the numbers. I actually have it. Matt LaFleur dominates the early part of the season. He's 17-6 against the spread in September, 8-1 on the road. No head coach has better covering early than LaFleur. The Packers are 17-3 within their first 3 games of the season since 2009 against the spread. 17-3 against the spread their first 4 weeks of the season since 2019. Yeah, and again, it's a big over. It's a big favorite. Favorites have been hitting. We've talked about that the first 2 weeks. Those hit. And then I got 2 overs because I liked them last week. They're both the same number. First, I'll take Pittsburgh at New England over 44.5. I think Pittsburgh's defense stinks. I really do. I also think New England's defense stinks. Stinky defense. Give me the over. It's not even that high. And I don't think both offenses are really that great either. But that's a 24-21 game gets you cashed. Don't think. Just throw Steelers defense is poopy and the Patriots defense may be equally as poopy. The sneaky one is the Rams at Eagles. I'll take that over as well. That's 44.5. I think the Eagles secondary has issues. We saw that against Dallas. The Chiefs didn't really have the horses to challenge the Eagles secondary. Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, like Devontae Adams. They got some dudes that can challenge it. I think there can be some points. And I always just think Philly's going to score. They'll find ways to put up 20-something points at home. They're really good at that. But I think this Rams team is going to put up some points and give this Eagles defense some fits. So those are the two overs there. And finally, I like the Falcons. They were good for us last week. Big win on Sunday night to have us even for the week. Falcons -5.5 at Carolina. Carolina is really bad. The Falcons may actually have a legitimate pass rush. Bryce Young, not good against the blitz. It hasn't looked good this year. And I thought the Falcons offense moved the ball pretty well against a really good Vikings defense and just couldn't get in the end zone. My bet is they figure something out for red zone. Like they got to get in the end zone kind of thing. So Falcons -5.5 for my plays. So there they are. A Niner. Bills team total over 30.5. James Cook over 89.5 rushing and receiving yards. Dalton Kincaid over 32.5. Khalil Shakir over 42.5. Josh Palmer over 33.5. Packers -7.5. Pittsburgh, New England over 44.5. Rams, Philly over 44.5. Falcons -5.5 at Carolina. Let's get back on track. How about an 8-1 week? Why not? But again, I want to get this up Thursday afternoon for the plays. So appreciate it as always. Shout out Bob Johnson Auto Group. Shout out Connors and Ferris for this awesome podcast studio. Shout out to you for everybody that followed along and has made it this far in the video. See all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Yeah, let's do it again next week. How about I come back on here next week and we've got a lot of wins. So again, appreciate it as always. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We will catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Best of luck to all your bets this weekend from Uncle Dan.